2, 1.
When you begin working here at the Sentinel, one of the things you'll have to learn pretty quickly is how to navigate through our system and what our general method of workflow is. So first things first, when you open your computer, you need to log into your server, which is Apple K. And once that pops up, you hit connect. And you want to go to the data drive. And this is where we do pretty much everything. So when you open up the data drive, once the pinwheel finishes spinning, we go to our weekly folder. This is where pretty much all of our working files go. So if you're a graphic designer, the folders that you're going to use most often would be your ads folder, and there's one set up for every week. Once the working ads are moved out from the previous week into their archival folders, we will add our new ads into the empty one. So here's one for this week. And so far we only have one ad, but there should be many more on the way. The other one that you'll need to visit frequently would be the photo features. This is where all the photos go with their cut lines, and as in another video, guide you through the cork templates. And as you can see, there's several set up here for some of the different photo features that we do. The ones with the dots are the ones that are used every week. The other ones kind of show up occasionally, but we also have our reporters folders, Chuck's photos. That's where all his pictures go. And then there's Jim's folder with his photos. And what we do once we get a picture in from our reporter, we'll drag it into the photo features folder, the main folder here. So here it goes, it's basketball. When you start off working the images into the cork document, you want to start with one dot at the beginning, and to dot it, you hit Option 8, and that does one dot. Once it's been approved and proofed, and it's good to go, no mistakes, you double dot it. And once it's double dotted, it means it's done. So, since that's obviously not done, I'm going to undo that. And once Francis goes through and puts each photo feature in the paper, all of those will end up in the used folder into the used photos section. This one you don't really deal with much at all until the day the paper is put together and sent out. Even then, it's just more for backup purposes that you'll need to go into this folder for. In our weekly folder, some of the other folders that you'll need to visit occasionally, we have our holiday and sick page folder. This one is for all our holiday ads, and sometimes we do a full page ad. So as you can see, each occasion has its own setup. This one would be a full page ad. So let's see, graduation. In other occasions, we do single ads that will end up throughout the paper. So that's one that's visited every so often. We also have our holiday closures folder. This is where we mark which businesses are closed for the week and which ones are open. Of course, it's going to take forever to open. Let's see. Come on. Yeah, so yeah, we'll have to update these every season. So really, you won't have to visit them quite often, but every so often you'll need to go in there. King Features, this is where our comic strips and our horoscopes are loaded into. So if you're downloading them off the internet, this is where they go. And that's about it for the weekly folder. If we go into ads for layout, this is where our final ads go, for an example. So this ad for 420 Connect will be saved as an EPS in our ads for layout. And if you click on there, you'll see the EPS for 420 Connect. And then within our ads for layout folder, we have a classifieds folder. This is where all our realtor ads go, photos for the classified ads. And usually this is pretty full. It's sort of early in the week yet, so we haven't quite filled it up yet. And then our advertising folder. This is another big one that you'll be visiting frequently if you're going to be building an ad. Let's say for a realtor, we've got Coldwell Banker, Cripple Creek. We usually put our realtors at the very top because we got to visit them every week, so they need to be pretty easy to find. So each realtor has a yearly folder, and as you can see, they're organized by each week, and one folder for all the photos, another one for the listings, and I cover this more in our realtors video that you'll see on our YouTube station. Then there's also, let's see, we've got a printing order folder. Every once in a while you can find something that had been printed in the past. I don't really go in there very often, but I have. And yeah, you can see each business that we've dealt with has their own folder. Some that we see more often than others. Let's say an example, like Willard Hall, he'll do an auction every month or so, but he's got all his ads from this year piling up in that folder, and all of his artwork just saved on the outside of the folder. So if you ever need to link back to that, this is where you'll find his information or his pictures. Most businesses, let's say like Sierra Healthcare Center is another one that we do ads for frequently. But here's their logo. It's just set outside, where when you open it right away you can see it. So let's say if you're working a new ad, that you can easily link to your photo or to your logo if you know where to find it. And finding things is pretty darn important. So take your time, look through everything, see the way things are set up, and try to keep everything organized, and ads folder by year and by project. And one of the most important things you have to remember when you're building your ads or photo features is to save your photo in with the Quark document. So if you don't, and you have to link back to it, and you can't find it, that can be extremely frustrating. So always remember, keep your art with your Quark document, and that will make life so much easier. I hope you enjoyed this video. Happy designing!